Hello, and welcome, my Gemini collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your Path of True Love read for February 2020, or Timeless, whenever you see it. I am your reader, Mark Angelo Lyons, Mal for short, president of Joining the Circle Productions, professional witch, professional intuitive, and very, very honored to be doing these Path of True Love readings on YouTube in general. If you are new to my channel, please do like and subscribe, making my way to 1,000 subscribers and beyond, so that I can do a super live chat. Drunk Tarot, there's a link in the box below about what Drunk Tarot is. You want to go see what that's about. Yeah, help my channel grow, because I'm actually helping people, and I'm a Virgo. So, you know, the Mercury connection you and I have, and yes, Mercury's getting ready to go retrograde. I will get those readings out so we get a little clarity if at all possible, right? Cool. Please keep in mind, this is a general read, right? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs for any zodiacal sign is a rather large swath of the population to be tuning into. In my case, clairvoyantly, clairaudiently, empathically, and mystically, because I am working with 4 different pantheons of guidance today for these Path of True Love readings. So please take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and go check your other signs. And I try and make them not just informative, but entertaining. So even if you're getting like 50% accuracy from any read on YouTube, that's pretty good. That's actually pretty amazing considering the amount of people, right? So that being said, a Path of True Love reading. The Path of True Love is your spiritual path, right? Through your relationships, and relationships of every different shape and size and type, romantic, sexual, familial, work, right? Friends, even relationships with people you will never meet. You can still are still on the path of true love for you, particularly if you hate their guts, right? Because it's about how we grow and evolve through our relationships, right? The hero's journey, the warrior's path, the path of enlightenment, the healing journey, whatever you want to call it, but with our relationships. And let's face it, a lot of us contracted to do our evolutionary journey through exactly that. Like, instead of the warrior's path or the artist's path. Now, I've got the artist's path going on with me too. I mean, I have a production company. It's Joining the Circle Productions. But even that just brings more and more relationships into my life that I have to learn, heal, and grow through. You getting what I'm saying? So regardless of what shows up in this reading in terms of court cards or other people or circumstances, it's your reading. It's about you. It doesn't really matter about anybody else when it comes to the Path of True Love reading. It's all about how you doing and what you need. Cool. Last thing, well, second to last thing, I'm doing the Celtic cross spread, an oldie but a goodie. I did a video for it yesterday explaining or clarifying, because I do this whole series called Clarifications on the Celtic Cross, how I read it, just because so many different readers read it so many different ways. Like, once you get the first 2 cards down, well, where's the 3rd card going? I've seen that shit move all over the table. So it just explains what the positions mean to me and how I read them. This way I don't have to really make the videos extra super long. And I'm trying to cut down on this beginning part, but you really do have to preface things with new people. So if anybody ever feels like they want to put in a timestamp of when the readings begin, have at it. You have my permission. Cool. Last thing, please breathe. This is important. We have to breathe anyway. But the more we do it deliberately, partner with the breath, brings us both into the present moment. Even though we are separated by time and space, there's only the eternal now. So we are tuning to the same frequency, the same vibration, particularly because you are watching me and hearing the sound of my voice. It's like tuning a radio station or a frequency, right? Trying to get that frequency. The soul will do it for you. It's just about focus. So I'll try and remember to breathe consciously as often as I can. Otherwise, I go so fast, right? I'm like a buzzsaw, a clairvoyant, clairaudient, empathic buzzsaw. But you'll see what I mean. I'll try and slow it down so that the information comes out clear and I don't trip over words so much. It's tricky, right? So let's dive in. We're going to start with the Daughters of the Moon Tarot for the foundation, the first 10 cards down. Then we're going to bring in 10 of the Healing with the Angels Oracle by Doreen Virtue to clarify. So yes, we're going to lay down the Daughters of the Moon 10 of them first, Celtic Cross, then clarify with 10. Then we will get a Whisper of Love Oracle card, just one from your higher self, and one of the Healing Mantra deck, Matt Kahn, from the Ascended Masters. Cool, so we've got really technically 5 pantheons, because gods and goddesses technically are 2. Angels, masters, and the higher selves of all involved. Cool, cool. Let's go, gems. Take a nice deep breath. Find the still point in the now. Still point. Oh my gods and goddesses, please. Top 10 cards, Celtic Cross, Gemini Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Where are they on the path of true love for February 2020? Show me where this Gemini Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign are. What's going on? Show me where they are. What's going on for them on the path of true love. One more time. I'm making sure these are shuffled. My gods, please. Top 10 cards. Celtic Cross, Gemini Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Show me where they are on the path of true love, February 2020. And clean cut, please. Maiden, Mother, Crone, thank you. It's not a clean cut if one of them hangs on. I don't like that. Sometimes I forget to ask and then it does that. But you do your best as a reader. What are you going to do? Here we go. I'm putting the cards down so I don't keep shuffling them. They are shuffled. They are set. We'll shuffle the angels once these 10 are down. Ready? Let the fun begin. First card down. What is the card that covers you? The significator. The person I'm reading. You. Well, out of the gate with the Major Arcana card, and not just any Major Arcana card, the High Priestess. Now, this is the goddess Isis. Remember, it was a goddess before it was a terrorist organization, just saying. We're allowed to use that word. I know, everybody's so afraid to use her name, but, I mean, she's like the all-mother of the Egyptians, essentially. So, you know, brilliant. I mean, I watched the TV show in the 70s. If you know what I'm talking about, comment below. We should be posting links of that every day. Almighty Isis, Isis, Isis. I'm a Hellenic Greek, though. But, you know, the High Priestess card, it's hidden knowledge that if that's you out the gate, any sort of intuitive, mystical, spiritual stuff you got going on in your life is highlighted in this reading. Sure, there are secrets that you have that you don't share. Sure, there are secrets and mysteries kept from you because you're on your own path, right? The path of true love has all sorts of mysteries and secrets. But you're on the path. There's definitely that element there, of course, of the subconscious mind, right? That deeper intuitive, I mean, it's definitely lunar. The energy of the High Priestess in every deck I've ever seen has had the element of water, the moon, something lunar there. So so really tune to your divine feminine stuff, because the other thing about the High Priestess, look, I was a high priest, I'm an elder now. I don't care if I ever actually officiate as a clergy in any way again, except I love spiritual counseling, that's the thing. So as long as I can maintain a degree somewhere where I'm allowed to do that, I love spiritual counseling, an intuitive process for me. But in a sense, I will always be a priest of, for example, the god Dionysus, my lifelong patron, right? What is a priest or priestess but a vessel through which the divine works, except the divine works through all of us. So it's sort of like your turn at bat is the feeling that I get on this, right? That the gods have noticed whatever it is that you're doing and are working through you in a way that you may have no idea about why. Mystery. Oh, everybody wants mysticism until they realize they have to get used to having no idea what the hell's going on because the gods are at work. It's not like they tell you. You're just agreeing to play with the gods in whatever game they're weaving, right? So that's the cover, and what a cover it is. What's the cross, the situation, the environment, the thing that you are dealing with? Excellent. 7 of Flames. Victory. Love this card. Love this card great big huge time, because it is not just galloping on horses with fire in your hands. I love this card. It is cooling magma, right? Like a thin layer of crust. There is lava moving under the surface here. So it's even like the world itself is moving you in the same direction as you are going. You know, victory, as it's called in this card, Daughters of the Moon, it is about overcoming things. So, of course, you've had to overcome things. No one is taken to the top of the mountain in the blink of an eye and left there. And when I mean the top of the mountain, I mean like absolute true love, ecstasy, bliss, union with the divine, like day one. No, it's a mountain. You may be brought to the top to show you there's a top. That happened to me. Well, I am a top. Sorry. I was brought to the top of the mountain, so to speak, saw unity consciousness, experienced it, but this was in the 80s. They brought my shit right back down to the bottom of the mountain. They said, you know, it's there, start climbing. And I have been ever since, with moments here and there. The path of the mystic is not an easy one, but you'll do anything to catch another whiff of that divine love. That's why my path is the path of true love. I want to be that. I just don't want to experience it. I want to be the divine love that we already are. That's why this is such a powerful path, but also in your spread, starting with this, and then this is the environment that you're in, that you are jumping hurdles, leaps and bounds, but it's because your passion and your drive, whether it's for a spirit or a lover or for life in general, loving yourself, healing yourself, your spiritual path, whatever that passion is, because even the direction of the cards, the gallopers are galloping towards the high priestess. So there's a lot of, feels really good, very exciting, and though a fire card, very Gemini, very that sort of excited, passionate Gemini. What's going on at the core, in the subconscious and in the soul? Gems. You got the card of celebration, major arcana card, the card of judgment, which if you look at it at first glance, it's women holding hands, circle dancing, somewhere in nature, probably the mountains, right? And then you blink your eyes and look in a different way. They are standing on the belly of the mother. Her thighs in the background, her breasts in the foreground, dancing around her navel. And you go, whoa, whoa, or like, whoa, right? Seeing things differently. This is a card of revelation and celebration. I've always felt the card of judgment, even in the Rider-Waite Tarot. I mean, if you look at it, it's the book of Revelations, right? It's the end times. It's the dead rising for Judgment Day. Hence the card of judgment, right? So yeah, the judgment card, a revelation, and people will say reconciliation. I get that too. That's almost an after effect. But if this is what's going on in the subconscious for you, with this card representing the connection to the subconscious through the intuition, my Geminis, this is pretty heavy-duty card. Now, granted, 2 major arcana cards out of 3, out of 10, not that big of a deal, 2 out of 10, but let's see what else comes. I can't wait to get to the angels and clarify what this is about. But now that we know where you are, essentially, right, the present moment, the cover, the cross, the environment that you're in, and what's going on inside of you, perhaps on a deep sub-unconscious level, depending on how connected to your soul you are. But if this is you, chances are you are, at least now. Where have you been? What is behind you, right? What's in your behind? What card you got in your behind? 3rd major arcana card, the Lovers. Now, I'll be the first to say, the Lovers isn't always about romance and sex, right? Not at all. It's about a life-changing decision. Again, go to the Rider-Waite. It's Adam and Eve, not necessarily legendary lovers in that sense. They sort of shouldn't eat the apple, right? What major life-changing decision did they make? Well, they changed it for everybody, if you want to play that myth, right? Don't listen to the snake, the sneaky snake. This is a life-changing decision behind her. I just said Adam and Eve, but because I'm looking at the high priestess here, not saying that you are male or female, whatever, however you identify, I don't even know who you are. But see the energy speeding up, breathe. Some major life-changing decision you made in your recent past has to do with true love, maybe was about relationships in some way, but that brings you now, interestingly enough, casts a different light on this card, because then this really becomes the virgin, the new beginning, the maiden of the maiden, mother, and crone. Fabulous. Talk about a new beginning, but a real new beginning in terms of your spirit, your soul. Even if external circumstances haven't changed, but if this card of victory is about external circumstances, the environment that you're in some way, victory. You're moving along. I just hope you know that, or maybe that's yet to be revealed to you, because that's at your core. We'll see what this is. We'll tune to that later. Let's keep going. I want to keep building this. The crown, what's coming into being, like a baby crowning, except this isn't coming out, this is coming down into you, if you will, like a download from the divine. What's coming immediate future. This card has come up now in all 3 readings I've done so far. The Six of Blades, manipulation. Now, manipulation is a neutral word. This card has no reverse, right? You have a headache, you take Alka-Seltzer, you feel better, you manipulated yourself, right? It's a full moon, you light a candle, you do a dance. We got full moon in Leo coming. All right? You manipulated, you pray, you breathe, you change your breathing. This is about changing the way that you think, or spinning something in the mind. Not necessarily analysis, but trying to find what? Balance. 6s are numbers of balance and harmony. So that is what's coming for you. It might be, particularly with all, oh, I feel that, with all of that victory energy in the 2nd position. Yeah, the mind might be spinning a little bit because the soul is really driving the show with 3 out of 5 major arcana cards. The mind might have a little bit, you might want to try meditation. Well, it seems probably you already are. Just keep in mind, the mind is mechanistic. The intellect, even the third eye, the Sanskrit name for the third eye, ajna, A-J-N-A, means servant, right? It's supposed to serve the soul, but we make it the master. So it might be spinning its wheels a little bit. Again, they're flashing me right away because I love this deck, but people aren't familiar with it, so I don't mind making the reference to the deck that pretty much every reader starts with. Not all of them, but pretty much all of us did. The gondola, right? The guy ferrying the woman and the child from choppy waters to still. And I've seen some decks where the choppy waters are really choppy, like the Mythic Tarot I work with. But this is more the propeller, right, in this sort of spinning card. So to balance the mind, that can mean therapy, that can mean a good conversation, that can mean hypnosis, right, silva mind control, all of these different means of manipulating the mind, or perhaps just seeing things differently. But then the question comes in, are you partaking in the manipulation, or are the gods having a field day with you, right? That's sometimes the difference between mysticism and madness, is to the extent, like if we're really having a spiritual experience and flying high in victory, that's great. That's wonderful. That's sprinting along the path. The whole path isn't like that, though. But then, you get a vision that you are Maid Marian looking for your Robin Hood. It's like, that's when things go off into the woods for me, right? So make sure that there is that healthy mental balance, because this feels very intense in terms of a path of true love. Now, I keep forgetting. It is Valentine's Day month, so I think I get the other part of the mental manipulation. I think people torture themselves if they're single, and sometimes they even torture themselves with Valentine's Day when they're not, to make it the most perfect, beautiful thing, and nuts, right? It can be very, very, very toxic, particularly in codependent relationships, not to mention abusive or neglectful ones, right? Tricky shit romantically. Path of True Love ain't all about that, but I think that might be why that Six of Blades keeps popping so much in these 3 times out of 3 readings. Look, we went 3 times out of 3 readings. Getting high off your reading, Gem. Thank you. Where are you headed? In other words, the 6th position. What's before you? Not what happened before. What's before you on the path of true love? 3 of Cups, make new friends, keep the old. 1 is silver, the other gold. Emotional bonding. Actually says right on the card, bonding. Now, I know people will jump and say, well, then that's a third-party situation. Well, there are 3 people in it. I get it. Again, the Rider-Waite deck. 3 women toasting, right? Lord knows what they're toasting. But I'll tell you right now, the vibe on this card feels good. It feels friendly. Would make sense coming from a place in the 2 of victory. right? To kind of have a drink after. I know that's ridiculous, but you sort of get the feeling that there is this thing of, yes, let's what? Celebrate. We've got this card of celebration in the third position. And again, it can be two people, but it's not that Two of Cups attraction necessarily so much as it is you've already met, you're already hanging out, and you're forging more emotional bonds, getting to know each other, even if not sharing the past of where you've been. Just if if this is a communal experience, meaning you, other people, maybe one other person, that from that comes this bonding, an emotional connection, even though you might be very much playing the role of the virgin priestess, the maiden, sort of on your own, going through your own thing, experiencing it in a more spiritual, soulful, or at least emotional, intuitive way. You with me? Pretty good for a microcosm. First 6 cards down. We've got the 4, the 2, and the 6. If you line up the even numbers, we've got the Lovers, Victory, and 3 of Cups. From a decision comes victory and an emotional bond. That's pretty good in a past, present, future. And even the x-axis of the present for when you're watching this. Celebration on the inner, that third position, wonderful. These are the odd numbers. Your cover card, Isis, the High Priestess. Wow. And what's crowning, the 6 of Blades, mental balance and harmony through manipulation. Fascinating. 4 more to go. Let's look at the staff, shall we? Position number 7. What's the lesson? What the gods trying to teach you? Ace of Blades, the Sibyl. Hold your water for an air card. Sorry, it's very specific. The Sibyl is the Oracle of Delphi. Now, what was I saying about the crown, right? Like something coming in through the crown, right? This mental idea. But this is an ace. That was the 6 of Blades at the crown. This is the Ace of Blades. Your lesson is, are you going to learn this new thing, this new thought, this new idea? It is very much like a crown chakra download, the Ace of Blades for me. Insight. Not necessarily spiritual, mental, usually. A concept. I'm a bit of a drag enthusiast myself, so every now and again I will think of a drag name. I'm like, where the hell did that come from? I got one today that I won't share because I think the person I shared it with might actually use it. But someone said if I ever had a drag name, what would I use? And what came out of my mouth was Amanda Reckon With. Amanda Reckon With of the Hampton Reckon With descendants of Thurston and Levy. Except there is a drag queen in San Francisco, I believe, Amanda Reckon With, so there's not enough nair. I'm not interested in shaving my body. I like my hair as it is. So, you know what I mean? Like, download, like, out of nowhere, I know, Amanda Reckon With. I laughed my ass off. The one I got today was really funny, too, but no, that's in case my friend wants to use it. So, your lesson, can you allow the thought? You're being taught how to see things differently, and that is certainly indicated here in this mental manipulation part of it. Spinning it in the mind, at least giving it a shot, right? Doing that without overanalyzing it. Tricky for Mercury, lead, I know. So from the outside looking in, position number 8, since that's your lesson, how do you look to others? Now, before I lay this down, we'll flip it over, get that this is how others see you. It doesn't mean it's how you really are, right? Yet it's so hard to see ourselves. Someone might be seeing you through the lens of the villain, no matter what the fuck you do. Remember, this is a hero's journey. So people project their stuff all the time. But again, in a reading like this, sometimes it's helpful. Well, it wouldn't show up unless it was truly helpful to know this. And maybe it is showing you something about yourself, right? Like when someone says, oh, you've got something stuck to your shoe, right? It's like, oh, thank you, like that. So let's have a look-see-duck-see. From the outside looking in, very thoughtful. Someone in analysis. Now, you, Gemini, I don't think that's a stretch. Plus, you went, by the way, from the ace to the deuce. Now, these are not timeline-oriented, but these are all sort of what's going on in the macrocosm. The first 6 are microcosm, very personal, story-oriented. These 4 are the macrocosm, the more spiritual, higher dimensional stuff, if you want to go there that way. So from the outside looking in, that you're analyzing, there's also, don't forget, that piece of analysis that is about gathering information. With Geminis, you're better at it than Virgos are, because we will find a piece of information, the Virgos, and we will just microanalyze like that, where Geminis tend to be like, oh, what if I look at it this way, and I look at it this way, and I look at it this way, gathering data. But keep in mind, she makes a good point here with these two, the fencers here in the Two of Blades, strategizing and thinking ahead. Well, but if they do that, I can do that. But if they do that, I will do that. Taking you out of the present moment is sometimes what keeps people stuck in the Two of Blades. Just saying, I do it all the time. That's why I meditate, so I can pull back, see it from a more maybe Ace of Blades point of view, right? See the larger if I can, or the seed of it all, the heart of the matter. Cool, cool. Position number 9, your destiny. Where are you on the hero's journey? That is the path of true love, my gems. Major Arcana card, Wheel of Fortune, and this, the Spider Woman. A very, very interesting card. The way it's depicted, I mean, you can certainly look the Wheel of Fortune in all sorts of different mythologies and readers and scholars. But there's something about the interconnectivity of life and an element of timing here, right? You've got the destiny card in the destiny position, in other words. So whatever is going on right now, I mean, you can try and run from it if you want. I don't see why you would. This is actually all looking really good. But it feels like there's something, the divine is at work here. There's something to be revealed to you. And it's time. It doesn't mean that you're good. It doesn't mean that you're bad. It just means that it's time. Like, we think that we've earned things. The gods are like, earn? No, this is a quantum script you're living out, right? You don't know that we do. It's time for this scene change, or it's time for this to happen. Now, the angels are going to clarify on this more, as I'm sure will the other two oracles that I'm going to bring in. But just tuning to this right now, this feels like something that's been written in your heart for a very long time. And the more that you can hang out in the High Priestess, if you don't know what it is, just don't know what it is. But feeling it, all will be revealed. And I'm going to use an Abraham Hicksism, float downstream. Abraham Hicks, if you know what I'm talking about. Put the oars in the boat, let the canoe take you downstream on this. Because I'm not going to say the outcome is assured in any particular way, but your path is sort of, that there's an element of divine timing here, that all things are interconnected like a web. So just to kind of walk gently, even though you're in this place of victory, because whether you know it or not, you're fulfilling your role in the divine plan somehow. Even when we're pissed off, angry, by the way. Even when we're just, screw the divine plan, right? We're allowed to do that. We're allowed to have those feelings. I wouldn't want to live there, but it's an okay place to visit. It's part of being in a human body. The gods get it. But even then, when we do that, that's part of the divine plan, right? Otherwise, the movie gets boring. It's like we have to have levels in it, right? Life. Last card down for our first 10 Daughters of the Moon, and then we'll clarify those go a lot quicker. What's the outcome? Keeping in mind that the Three of Cups, in other words, position number 6, and position number 10, the outcome, mutable, changeable, unless they're scripted, and with the card of the Spider Woman, Wheel of Fortune, kind of feels like it is. But let's see, what's your outcome? Play 6 of Flames, which here you are in the 7 of Flames, so there, it's not a backsliding, but a stepping back. It's like, okay, we're going to play now, particularly with this emotional bonding. We're going to play Bastet, the Egyptian cat goddess. Oh, the Bast cast wrote that circle cast. Feels like 1,000 years ago. Still use it. Keep in mind, Bastet, solar goddess, right? Everybody thinks because she's a cat-headed goddess. This one, not necessarily a black cat, but usually see her or her portrayed as a black cat. They think of her as lunar, but she's not. She's solar, truly, almost like a Leo energy, though not necessarily a lion, a feline, if you want to go there. So something exuberant, fun, not just playful, but perhaps even risk-taking, adventurous, sight-seeking, right? New experience, desire propelling the show. Really, really, really lovely reading. Are you just itching? I am. Nice deep breath. Oh, so I need to breathe. This is really fun. still point. My angels, please. Woo! Top 10 cards. Celtic Cross for this. Gemini Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. On the path of true love for February 2020. Where are they on the path of true love for February 2020? My Gemini Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. I hear you. I hear you. Can you please show me one more? You please show me where they are, what's going on for them, and to clarify what the gods have already placed on the table. Really, cards of clarification, top 10 cards, Celtic Cross. Gemini Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, February 2020. Maiden, Mother, Crown. There we go. All right, let's rock and roll. Remember, we started you off as you as the High Priestess, matched with, listening. Just be silent, right? Soft of eye and light of touch, speak ye little, listen much. If you know where that's from, I ain't got to tell you where that's from. If you don't know where that's from, Google it. Doreen Valiente. Listening, really, the intuitive, keeping your ear not so much to the ground, but to the soul, right? And what's going on in your soul? Revelation, right? That celebration, that revelation, things being shown as being coming full circle, but seeing it's coming full circle before it actually comes full circle. That's why the Judgment card before the card of the world. But my God, listening, know that your prayers are being heard and your prayers are being answered, though maybe not in the timing or in the way that you would like them to, but really, this is such a beautiful spread. And there are no go fuck yourself cards in this deck, so I think you're going to be fine. I think if there was going to be something calamitous on the path that would have showed itself, I'll go the twists of destiny and fate, who knows? Because right now, let's clarify then, you're the High Priestess in victory, right? So what clarifies that? Oh my goodness, Archangel Michael. There's only one Archangel card in this deck, and this is it. An Archangel Michael, the protector, the defender, the angel of fire in the south. Archangel Michael, everybody's favorite, portrayed by John Travolta. I mean, aside from, like, I'm trying to think, there's a handful of movies where you see other archangels, but everybody loves Archangel Michael. He's got the best press agent. Archangel of truth, the will of God, right? The sword of truth. So victory as a result of Archangel Michael in some way, shape, or form. Oh, and I feel that. Yeah, truth. Like you are receiving, or you are in an environment where victory comes from truth, and truth itself is the victory here. Things that might have been holding you back as a result of this decision of the lovers in your past. Now, I think because you made that decision, you are moving forward as a result of truth. I hear you, of truth being revealed. Oh, truth being revealed, your own truth, your own inner truth. But they said that Gloria Steinem, the truth will set you free, but will usually piss you off first. I think that's what she said. Again, I'm not a quoter, I'm a paraphraser. Too much going on with all of this to always be verbally accurate according to quotes. He was a great paraphraser. Mark Angelo Lyons, Mal for short. I almost shuffled those cards. I said top 10. What's going on in this third position card of celebration? Oh, good Goddess Almighty, revelation. Study. That what is celebrated and being revealed to you is what you have to learn. So we will, of course, be looking deeply at this Ace of Blades in your 7th position, the lesson. That's what I love about this particular deck and this particular spread. Some things just point to other things. So just like you've got the Destiny card in the Destiny position with the Daughters of the Moon. So some revelation is inside of you, but there's some study involved, or it's about a new kind of study. Like, I've always been into breath work. I mean, my God, I studied rebirthing as a teenager when I was in college, like 17, 18, 19 years old. Breath work and all of that kind of stuff, right? It's been part of my life, but the past few weeks I've been studying the Wim Hof method. I've been taking ice cold showers. I'm only in the first couple of days of 30 seconds at the end of freeze your shit off. But new learning techniques, right? A whole new kind of study, training, right, has opened up to me that has really fucking changed things quickly. So some sort of internal study, or it's really saying, really study your intuition, right? Here you go, right? You got the high priestess with listening. Really listen to your intuitive world, your inner world, because if you study what's going on there, there is revelation and celebration. Considering you've got victory, and I have to say, these two cards together, the celebration, revelation with victory, with Archangel Michael and study, you're in a good place. You're in a really, really good place on the path of true love. And if you're not feeling it, that makes sense, because it's saying, go inside. Air signs tend to be more yang. Up here, this is saying, go here. You with me? It's not all third eye, darlings. You have to go solar plexus, second chakra, and root 2 sometimes. Get in your body. Where are you coming from with this fourth, which is in your behind? You've got the Lovers in your behind position. You have to not say that, but I'm probably not going to be able to say anything else but ideas and inspiration. All right. So when the Lovers... See, here's the thing about the Lovers. In this deck, in this particular depiction, we've got a masculine and a feminine. Well, the ideas are the masculine. The inspiration, however, is the feminine. So it's spirit. It is the balance of these two. Now, of course, there is inspiration that comes in through the crown chakra too. But how you know it's just not another idea is inspiration has a feeling to it, like often being struck by lightning. Like, it's not just head, it's heart. It's your whole energy system. So a decision that was made in the past, if it hasn't been made, then at least you're still in that process of studying it and gathering the information, right? The ideas and the inspiration to actually do it. Although I have to say with that second position card, because the card number 4, what's in behind you and where you are, position number 2, they are the past, the present, and then card number 6 is the future. So perhaps now the Archangel Michael, the truth, it's like you gathered what you needed to gather for this decision, and now in victory you're moving forward by listening to your gut, to your soul, and things that you are learning on a sub and unconscious level, revelation, really moving you there. But then it would make sense. The fifth position, what's crowning, is this mental. Something definitely is changing in the mental world, and for a Gemini that makes sense, probably as the result of something you're learning from the truth of Archangel Michael in this victory. See, it's very easy to plug together this one. So what do the angels say about that? Harmony. Oh, harmony with mental balance, right? So even if this is, it's okay. I think I know what to do. I just don't know if I'm ready to do it. It's okay. I'll do it when I'm ready to do it. I'll do it. It's going to be fine. It's all part of the divine plan. That sort of even talking to yourself, perhaps. Oh, this is a nice image. Talking to the child of your heart. That might be like, what do I do? I don't know what to do. It's okay, honey. Breathe. 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 Whatever's going on. A little piece of that inner child work to bring harmony with Six of Blades, which is about harmony and balance on a mental anyway, does make sense. So there's not just a choice and an option. I think, I'm not going to say the purpose for all of it, but that's a part of it. That's part of what you're learning. And that mental harmony and balance through manipulating your mind instead of your mind manipulating you can bring you revelation from within you. Yeah. And what does that lead to? The Three of Cups in the future, the sixth position, which is lovely. Dreams. The angels are talking about dreams with the Three of Cups. Perhaps there is a sharing of lifelong dreams. Or you're dreaming of emotional bonds in some way, shape, or form. Now, just tuning to that, I'm going to say that this is really more about dream connections, like things that you've had written in your heart that you've wanted. But again, this feels friendship-like. If this was Two of Cups, the whirlpool, I'd say yeah. The good percentage. This does feel more like you're making emotional bonds that need not necessarily be romantic sexual. I know everybody wants romantic sexual reads. That's why I do the romantic soulmate readings for those specifically. This is about where you are on your path. So how about making some new emotional bonds with people that really are in a way a fulfillment of your dreams, like sort of like, oh, this is idyllic. Oh, I've always wanted something like this. I dreamed about this. Otherwise, if we leave it purely to the subconscious type of dream, which I'm not saying isn't in the collective here, then we're looking at dreams that point to a learning, a study of revelation and celebration. So either way, that's a win-win. But I definitely feel like there's a manifestation here somewhere of new emotional bonds and connections in your life. Probably more than one. Probably it does. Hey, look, if you're going to have a romantic sexual connection with somewhere, have that element of water, the heart open as well. It just feels like more people going on here. And let me see. Do you have... you have no court cards here. So no other people indicated, which does lean a little bit more towards the subconscious spiritual revelation thing, considering you have the High Priestess first card down, but that also says that maybe you're keeping to yourself right now. She is, after all, the Virgin, right? The most beautiful woman that no man can have, traditionally in the tarot, I'm speaking. All right. That's your micro. Let's look at your macro, your lesson, the Sybil, the Ace of Blades. Remember, like can you allow this new idea in? You are learning something brand new, having to do with your own spiritual growth. Look, with the High Priestess, with spiritual growth and this revelation from within, I mean, you only have, you have 3 major arcana cards here. And considering one of them is the Destiny card in the Destiny position, I'm going to say, yeah, you need to have a new look. You have to let in the new idea about your spiritual growth here. Perhaps getting that every relationship you've ever had has been a catalyst for your growth, that you heal, that you learn how to heal, whether you learn how to heal yourself and learn how to love yourself, that's a twin flame contract, or you've been in soulmate relationships where you help each other heal, right? Lovers, friends, families, by the way, twin flames, lovers, friends, family, by the way, you can have it in any way, shape, or form. And then I can see with that Ace of Blades that people could see you in a place outside looking in, this Two of Blades, sort of in this, was it this or is it that? Kind of doing that. I'm a Virgo, like I said, I get it. What do the angels say about that? Friendship. I think this is the 3rd time in a row out of 3 readings that the friendship card has played as well. Might have just, I know it was definitely in the Taurus, but I think it was in the Aries as well. So very, very interesting how we can go back and forth, particularly with this 3 of Cups in your 6th position, that from the outside looking in, you might be analyzing friendships. You might be looking at even one-on-one partnerships in general in a whole new way as a result of what you're learning from your own internal world as a result of these new ideas and inspirations that incited this decision. Or if the decision... All right, I get it. So some people have made the decision, some are in the process, some haven't yet. Got it. So that will be on the timeline of when people see it. Got it. But that analysis, perhaps analyzing your friendships, looking at after perhaps what you have been through. With that High Priestess now, you're sort of like, I'm closing my legs. I may be keeping my secrets. I'm pulling back, but people can see it on you, that there's something going on, whether or not they know it's about your friendships, unless you're actually telling people that, which might be a Gemini thing to do. Now, this is the one I really want to look at. Destiny card in the Destiny position, right? The divine planet work, the Wheel of Fortune, divine timing, the seasons, how they turn, and nothing we can do can stop the turning of the seasons, right? But what thread are we on, and what thread will we contribute, and what thread will we cut, right? Tricky shit. The difference between fate and destiny. I don't want to keep my hands on that. What do the angels have to say? Trust. 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 That's where you are on the hero's journey, right smack dab in a really good part of it. Can you trust? And The Ace of Blades with spiritual growth in your lesson. There's your Ace of Blades. Trust. Trust in who? Trust in where? Bide the wicked long you must in perfect love and perfect trust. I'm like, girl of the gods alone. Everybody else has bad days, but I am a Virgo. Woo, trust who? Trust what? I'll trust the divine plan. Here's what I trust in the divine plan, that there is one. I don't have to like what happens in it, but there is one. And that at some point before I came into this life, I must have been given a glimpse, because I've been given glimpses of it in this life as a mystic, not the whole thing ever, but little swatches here and there. It's all part of a divine plan, and the divine plan is better than anything I can conceive of. Because you know what? The Kahns just know better than I do. Being omniscient and all. I'm not omniscient, I'm just cute. That's why they like me, and they show me shit, because I'm the fun one. They always say you're the fun one. Even like the high ascended masters, they're like, we're stoic, but you're the fun one. Oh, good, 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 good. So can you trust? You're being taught how to trust. Your destiny comes about as a result of you being more trusting. Not if you become totally mistrusting that you're going to miss your destiny, but you might more suffer your fate longer. Yeah, so that's with the divine timing, how we can play along or not. 10th position, Bastet, play. It feels like that's what's available to you, that you can play your role. Go, okay, this is all scripted. This is all a quantum hologram of incarnation and reincarnation. Fine, let's play. All right? Strapping on your skates and let's play this thing. Let's play this lifetime like a fiddle from heaven. Hey, the musicians are in the underworld too. They're lovely, and the underworld ain't hell. Just saying. Let's clarify. Bastet, outcome, really, Six of Flames. Brilliant card in this deck. Soulmate. Playful, soulmate, but remember, this can be friends. This need not necessarily be romantic. I always say that because it's so easy for the ego to run with the idea of romance and torture us about it. Well, when are they coming? When are they? Blah, blah, blah. Can you trust that there are you can't miss the people you're contracted to be with? You can even hide. They will find your shit. Trust me, I've hidden. They found my shit. So keep in mind that even in as fun as this looks, I have to be clear. The Doreen Virtue Healing with the Angels Oracle does not have a twin flame contract. Soulmate is just one kind of contract. So we're going to say that there is a soul contract outcome coming here. Very playful, very fun, which leads me to think it's soulmate, because soulmates are satisfying, soothing, symbiotic, simpler in some ways, right? You help each other heal, but not necessarily so, because twin flames can be a crap load of fun too, particularly elements of fire, hence flame. Twin flames are turbulent. They teach you how to love yourself, teach you how to heal yourself, and that doesn't mean you can't be married to one, but you gotta get, only you can give you the love they can't. Because there's love that only you can give yourself that no one can, by the way. So, lovely, lovely ending, but let's not be, I don't want to say too optimistic or too pessimistic. Let's be realistic. There is no twin flame card in this deck. So, soulmate means soul contract. But it looks like a really fun one. Probably not forever. What is? Nothing lasts forever. But a fun one in play. So, I have a feeling whatever decision you made here, this victory is leading you to where you really want to go. You're probably going to get your heart's desire, but not in the timing and in the way that you wanted it. Tough. You'll still be happy if you allow it, right? You could be bitter about it too. All up to us. There's the free will. Do we accept the narrative given or come up with one of our own? That is just toxic. Let's get you a healing mantra card. Oh, I skipped. Sorry, because I really should. There, that will keep me from doing that. To reverse the holsters. We're going to ask the higher selves of all involved for one card, a Whisper of Love Oracle card for you all, which I find very helpful, because they kind of say, do this, or this what this is, like a higher self would. Please, nice deep breath. Still point. Higher selves of all involved, not a court card showing here in this. So I'm going to ask you, please, for the higher selves of all involved, really clearly, for this Gemini collective, Sun, Moon, Rising sign, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign on the path of true love, February 2020. What is the message from their higher selves to them, right? There's maybe other relationships involved here, but really mono on mono, if you will, one-to-one for this Gemini collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, path of true love, February 2020. What's the whisper of love? Honesty is essential. To be a loving person, it is important that we speak truthfully and in a loving manner. And I'm going to say that really, really connects, and why wouldn't it, with this Six of Blades with harmony, right? To be honest, right? To be truthful. But being truthful isn't always necessarily being heart-centered, right? You can tell somebody the truth and chop their heads off. I'm very good at it. I was raised by a teacher and a lawyer. I have a verbal brutality if I let myself go there. But His Holiness the Dalai Lama did say, truth without compassion is brutality. I say it every time this card comes up, right? About honesty. So keep that in mind, particularly if there's revelation that you are learning from within yourself. To be a loving person, it is important that we speak truthfully and in a loving manner, even unto ourselves and to our own hearts. Remember, your inner child is in there, watching everything, hearing everything. You turn to that child and you say, I am so sorry, I didn't realize it was like that. I didn't realize. Be honest, never lie to your inner child. Plenty of other people will do that for you. And the child will believe it hook, line, and sinker until it learns to listen to you only. You say, honey, look, I'm doing my best. I don't know everything, but I love you. And we will get through this. And if we have to be truthful with others, we will be honest, and we will do it to the best that we can to be loving as we do it. But sometimes there is nothing left but the Kali move of ruthless compassion, and you just have to slice their heads off. Why? Because you tried it with a feather, you tried holding their hand, you tried it with flowers, and sometimes all that's left is like chop their heads off. That's how it is sometimes. Sometimes that is the loving thing to do, and Lord knows we all get that sooner or later. So to how about a spoonful of sugar, hopefully, to make that honesty go down, right? To make it a little easier, healing mantra deck. Most healing mantra available for you on the path of true love for February 2020. You with me, gems? Now this is verbal. You can repeat it once and be like, meh, or you can overwork it, be too obsessive with a mantra where it obsesses you. That's not great either. Or you can say, all right, let's play along, right? You got that card of play in here. Listen what rises when you say the mantra. Listening, High Priestess. Nice deep breath. Oh, still point. Oh, my ascended masters of true love, please. A healing mantra. A healing mantra. There we go for this Gemini collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign on the path of true love for February 2020, please. My Ascended Masters of True Love, just one card, a mantra for the Gemini collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs on the path of true love, February 2020. Now, one side of this is the mantra, the other side of this is the name of the mantra, so I can look it up in the book, because otherwise there's not much written on the card. Ready? Embracing worthiness is the mantra itself. I love this one. The mantra, I feel worthiness filling every cell of my body, and it feels amazing. I call this the Thorgy Thor mantra as a result. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, I am so sorry. Thorgy Thor. Google it, YouTube it. And the word amazing, you'll hear it. She says it. I feel worthiness filling every cell of my body, and it feels amazing. Now, I guess that's why they said what they said. You could say it once and be like, meh, didn't feel it. Or, you got this card of study here. Can you allow the new thought of spiritual growth in as part of your lesson, right? Let me read you what's in there. I love this deck so much. Thank you, Matt Kahn and the Ascended Masters. He works with the Ascended Masters, like, a lot. I think he is one. I think he might be one of those beings that's an Ascended Master incarnate as a, just a regular old human being. People have said that about me, but if I'm anything, I'm an avatar of Dionysus. Why? Because I'm the fun one. Silly. Embracing worthiness. Shall we? I feel worthiness filling every cell of my body, and it feels amazing. When worthiness dawns, you know that life has a bigger plan in store. The divine plan. You are able to navigate the highs and lows of each moment, aware of a greater cosmic force at play, listening through the divine feminine high priestess. Worthiness grants you permission to honor all that you are and moves you in the direction that fulfills your deepest passions. Seven of Flames victory with Archangel Michael. This mantra is ideal for feeling more joy, working through creative blocks, and helping the body heal, which, because you're talking about the cells and they're filling with worthiness, that's absolutely giving biochemical treatments, if you will, through not just the thought, but of course the feeling of that little by little by little. In other words, like putting a deposit in a bank that's been overdrawn. It's going to take you a little while of the mantra for your subconscious mind to even accept it, but I do have a feeling it's going to bring massive sense of internal celebration, right? Even down to the cellular level. Let's give you your overview and see what else pops, right? Because now everything's on the table. Usually there are some other puzzle pieces that appear. Here we go. Nice deep breath, magic clap, bam! We start you off as the high priestess in the first position with listening. Absolutely be listening to your intuition, your spirit, your soul, which means taking time out to step back and really, really here to tune out other things. Particularly because of what's going on in the subconscious, but we'll get there in a minute. The environment you are in as the listening high priestess is the victory of Archangel Michael, and Archangel Michael giving you truth, giving you passion. He's the element of fire, right? The Archangel of the South, powers of fire. So, that divine will, that divine passion, that sword, though often almost always seen as an element of air, except it is known that he has a flaming sword, one of truth that perhaps burns with the passion of the divine, really moving you into your third position there with, as I said, that high priestess, that divine feminine maiden going within, studying some revelation, paying attention to, oh, they just gave me, like a piece of art, a study in, right? Like an artist does many different paintings or photography of, I don't know, grape leaves, right? Which would be right up my alley as a Dionysian, but there you have it, right? The study in grape leaves. So that there is this celebration, this revelation percolating within, that you have the opportunity, particularly as the high priestess in your first position, to tune to and listen to and study. Recent past, a major decision, which either came from an idea or an inspiration, or the decision is to embody, work with, go forward with an idea of inspiration, kind of reflexing over quickly to your lesson position, number 7, we do have spiritual growth with the Ace of Blades. So there feels like a natural connection between your past and the lesson that you are in right now. Moving into the crowning position, number 5, we've got that 6 of Blades, that mental manipulation. Again, that's counseling, that's self-expression, but it's bringing it into a harmonious balance, right? It can be study, again, prayer, meditation, counseling, therapy, talking to a good friend, talking it over with your very verbal cat. Come on, baby, come sit with mama. In that 5th position, but that it's all about harmony, bringing harmony. Moving you, of course, into then that 6th position of the 3 of Cups with dreams, almost like dream girls, sort of getting from that, because there are 3 girls and the word dreams, a little musical theater for me at the moment, but I think you get what I'm talking about there, right? That emotional bonding, that 3 of Cups bonding of your dreams, and it really with that soulmate card in your last position too, keeping in mind the 6 and the 10 are mutable. This feels like you want to be going. The GPS is saying, Yeah, up to you, but I would keep going in that direction. So even past, present, future, right? We've got the fourth position, the lovers with ideas and inspiration, leading to Archangel Michael and victory in the present moment, second position, and the Three of Cups bonding with dreams. That's a lovely timeline. Even looking at the moment in the subconscious, right? We've got the vertical axis there of celebration with study going on in the subconscious, unconscious soul, deeper, deeper, deeper levels. But we have the conscious mind where you are right now, willing to listen, right? The high priestess, willing to quiet the mind and go more with the intuition and listen to the gut, to the soul. But in, if you like, the crowning consciousness, what's coming into now, a manipulation for mental harmony, or the harmony that brings mental manipulation. Either way you want to play that, both can be true. Lovely microcosm. Here in the macro, we've got the seventh position, the lesson here about this Ace of Blades, the Sibyl, a new thought, a new revelation, a new vision, a seed of which about spiritual growth having to do with your lesson. So you might have learned something. Look, there are seeds that are gigantic compared to like what? A mustard seed, which is teeny tiny, but power of the mountain is in the mustard seed. It's all about paradox, right? So this may be teeny tiny thing or a great big huge lesson. It is about your spiritual growth. So it doesn't shock me that we've got this card of study in your third position in your soul. There's a soul study thing here, obviously reflexing back to that card of spiritual growth. And even the Six of Blades, mental harmony, in your crowning card. It's all going to bring you these kind of dream relationships, and I do feel like aspirational ones that you have dreamt of. But then from the outside looking in, we've got the Two of Blades, someone analyzing friendships. Oh, I didn't even think of this. Could be analyzing with friends, right? It could be bouncing. That could be part of that dream team Three of Cups there with the emotional bonding that from the outside looking in, it looks like somebody who's then analyzing with friends, not just analyzing friendships, which is part of the collective too, I'm sure, but also the interplay, those conversations that create emotional bonding. That's lovely. And all of this is scripted, as we see in the Destiny card, in the Destiny position, number 9. But trust, like you really can trust that the web, the quantum field is supporting all of this. This was written, this is time, and is even leading you in the 10th position to playful soulmates. And remember, soulmates can be friends. That particularly what we're going through on planet Earth, of course the soul families are being reunited just so that we can help each other through well, you want to call it the ascension of planet Earth, call it that. You want to call it the anchoring of the fifth dimensional consciousness into third, you can call it that. But you could also call it Armageddon, because it's all the same fucking thing. Welcome to the quantum. Lots of ways to slice it. But the message from the, speaking of slicing it, from your higher self is honesty is essential. To be a loving person, it is important that we speak truthfully and in a loving manner, particularly with all this analysis going on in that 8th position. But let us not forget the mantra itself for embracing worthiness. I feel worthiness filling every cell of my body, and it feels amazing. And it feels like you are going to be sharing that in a very, very playful way with other soulmates, helping each other heal for February, at least February 2020, on the path of true love. So there we have it. My Geminis, fascinating and very, very fun reading. Really, really enjoyed doing this for you. May, at least give you the blessing, right? May the Gemini Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs be blessed with all that they need on the path of true love, to study what needs to be studied, to bond what needs to be bond, to have the truth and the victory and the harmony and the playful soulmates that are just part of their divine plan anyway, unfold for them under grace and in perfect ways for their well-being and for the well-being of all concerned in fulfillment of that said divine plan. Blessings, blessings, blessings upon them all. And so it is. So mote it be. Thank you so much for watching. Please do like and subscribe. I told you I'm the fun one. This was a very, very fun reading, and glad I could do it for you. But for now, I'm going to sign off. I've got one more to do tonight. I got to get something to eat. Thank you so much for watching, my gems. You're truly outrageous. Truly, truly, truly outrageous. Hail, farewell, and blessed be.